What is up, everyone? My name is Jerichoholic8704 alongside
EdgeHead3131, what's going on?
All right, so my initial plan was to do our first memories of live events, but you brought up a very good point. Before we do that, we should discuss our favorite first memories of just watching wrestling in general. So that is what we'll do today. Very much into the wrestling origin story. You know, our lives are just one big anime, so... And everyone knows the best part of the anime is the origin story. So here we are. Here we are with my wrestling origin. So I'll go first, discussing the beauty of professional wrestling and how it entered my life. So I think I've told my the backstory as to how I started watching wrestling before on the channel, but it might have been in a video that I deleted. I can't really remember. But point is, the reason I started watching wrestling was mainly due to my older brother. He's 8 years older than me, so he had a little bit of a gap, and he was, he was born in 1989, so he was kind of able to live through the Monday Night Wars, as a young kid, which was, a really exciting time if you're a wrestling fan. But from his perspective, I think he was more of just a straight up WCW loyalist. I don't really know if he watched a lot of WWF, around that time when he was watching, which was 97, 98, 99, and 2000. I think he was pretty much strictly WCW, and his favorite wrestler was always Goldberg. But he had a lot of different action figures. He had a lot of wrestling toys, and he had a lot of different VHS tapes. And one in particular that he had was it was Sting Back in Black, which the WWE Network has not updated to include the WCW Superstar Series list of tapings, which are just a treasure. They are a joy to watch. My two favorites, of course, being Sting Back in Black and Goldberg Who's Next. I watched these tapes constantly, and I did like the Goldberg one. It was fun to watch, but I remember coming down the stairs one day. I was probably maybe 3 or 4 years old, and my brother was watching this movie about Sting, and dude, Sting was just... He was there on camera. He was the man. It was the face paint. It was the look. It was the hair. It was just everything about him. And I literally watched that movie because, my brothers would go to school. I wasn't in school yet. Hadn't started kindergarten. So I would watch that shit every single day. It was insane. Just literally every single day. And eventually it got to the point where for my birthday, for Christmas or whatever. Maybe my mom just bought it for me because I saw it at Toys R Us one day. I don't even know. But I bought, there was the Sting playset. And it was a Sting mask, a Sting shirt, a bat, a championship belt. And, I literally dressed up every single day in this shit. I had all of it ready in hand. I would put the Sting Back in Black tape in the VCR, hit play. I could recite this whole movie because what it was Sting, documenting his return in 1999. And taking him through that whole year in review between the spring of 1999 and the fall of 1999. And it was basically just Sting discussing all these different matches. They would show a highlight clip. They wouldn't even show the full match. It was just a 3, 4, 5 minute highlight clip of the match. You weren't even getting full shit. It was just these little tidbits of it. But Sting's little monologue before and after the matches, I had that shit memorized. I could recite this movie right now for you if you want. As a matter of fact, ready? You pull up fucking WCW Superstar Series. Sting, before discussing his match, will say, Spring Stampede 1999. Hogan, Flair,
I'm okay.
DDP, and Sting. That sound pretty interesting? Gets better.
I think we're pretty good.
Macho Man Randy Savage was the special guest referee. And look, that is exactly what he says, and the delivery is the pauses, the emphasis on certain syllables, it's all there because I watched that shit every fucking day, all right?
Wow.
So dude, that's what it was. And what got me into watching WWE was mainly Goldberg. I'd kind of watched it randomly in 02, late 02, early 03, but what started getting me to watch religiously was the fact that when Goldberg came over in 2003, because I knew him from the WCW tapes, that's what kind of got me watching Raw on a daily, or I should say weekly basis, and the rest is history. But yeah, that's pretty much how it got to be. It was Sting that got me into wrestling, and then everything else kind of fell into place, and here we are now at the age of 23, and I'm still watching wrestling. So yeah, that's pretty much my villain origin story. So feel free to take those reins.
Oh my golly, that was pretty epic, dude.
Yeah, no, I thank you. I appreciate it. I'm always down to reenact more of Sting Back in Black if you want.
No, you know what? That's honestly A-okay.
A scary man's work is never done. Hang a few curtains in, she's home sweet home. All right, anyway, sorry, continue.
Nope. No. Stop with that. So my first visual experience to wrestling came on my dad's birthday, actually, in 2010. On an episode of SmackDown. This was the episode that was famous for, quite possibly, it was definitely what got me into wrestling immediately, no fooling, was the episode of SmackDown where Edge abducted Paul Bearer.
A classic moment.
Dude, I loved everything about that. Which is weird. It kind of sounds messed up to say, looking at it now that I've said it. But, I just loved that entire storyline.
And from then on, were you just an Edge mark? Were you a Kane mark? How'd it go there?
I was a huge Edge mark.
Edge mark to the grave?
Edgehead.
And then, were you watching SmackDown constantly, or were you flipping SmackDown and Raw?
I think my first episode of Raw was the episode when CM Punk punched Wade Barrett off the top of a steel cage, I think.
Dude, you have a great memory because I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about, but I'll take your word for it. Well, that was going to be my follow-up question though. As we know, your favorite wrestler is CM Punk. So if Edge, kind of similar to how Sting and Jericho for me, if Edge was kind of the catalyst that brought you in, what solidified Punk? Do you remember have any specific first memories of Punk besides that punching of Wade Barrett?
Just that punching of Wade Barrett and him leading the new Nexus. I remember watching the Nexus initiations right after they were happening.
Oh yeah, when he was whipping them and shit.
Yeah, and he was beating Husky Harris's ass.
Damn, he beat he beat the normality out of Husky Harris. That's what turned him into Wade Barrett.
Excuse me?
Not Wade Barrett, Bray Wyatt.
Wow, dude. Fuck.
Yeah, man, dude, that's a hell of a transformation right there. Husky Harris to Wade Barrett. He grew a foot and lost 150 pounds. I'm trying to remember pay-per-views I ordered. There was a whole debacle.
I'm trying to think of what my first pay-per-view was.
Well, I can tell you, the first pay-per-view I ordered was SummerSlam 2003 because it was the Elimination Chamber with Goldberg, Triple H, Jericho, Michaels, Orton, and Nash.
Wait, was it right after or right before you went to Raw?
This was before I went to Raw.
Okay.
But I remember that being the first pay-per-view I ordered, and I watched that with my brother and my dad because my brother we were thinking that Goldberg was going to win the title because I think everyone thought he was going to win the title, and he won it the next month. It was kind of a screwy finish to that Elimination Chamber match. But I remember we didn't order any of the pay-per-views.
That was one of the worst Elimination Chamber matches.
See, that's the thing. I agree. The ending sucks and the ending's flat, and Goldberg should have won. But honestly, everything else in that match, I actually really, really like. I think if that match had stuck the landing and they did have a nice finish, it would have been one of the better chamber matches. But I get the argument. Dude, if the ending sucks, it's hard to recover from that. So I totally feel you on that. But we didn't order any pay-per-views for the rest of 2003, and we were gonna order WrestleMania 20. Because at this point, I kind of started realizing the gravity of WrestleMania. I didn't realize how big WrestleMania was with 19 when I was kind of watching intermittently in 2002 and 2003. But when WrestleMania 20 rolled around, it really started to drive home how big of a show this was. So I was like, oh shit, we got to buy this. So I remember I begged my dad to buy WrestleMania. Of course, it was more expensive than all the other pay-per-views, so he was already pissed about that. But I begged him. I was like, please, I have to. And Goldberg was facing Lesnar. I was so hyped for that match. Jericho and Christian, I was beyond hyped for. Like, there were so many matches I wanted to watch. And I remember he ordered it, and then I don't know what happened. I still to this day can't remember. And it was 2004, so like, the technology was not what it is nowadays. I think something got fucked up with our cable provider, and we didn't get the show. Like, we just basically got dead air for 4 hours. And like, my dad had to get it refunded and shit like that. And he was on the phone with the cable company for like hours.
Of course.
Yeah, because this was 2004. Like, this was some wacky shit. But after that, like, I think we just had, like, my dad just had a bad taste in his mouth from ordering pay-per-views that, like, we did not order anything for 04, 05, 06. And I remember the first pay-per-view we ordered in a long time, it was Royal Rumble 2007.
Dude, I have Royal Rumble 2007 on DVD.
Dude, I'm looking at my DVD copy right now because that pay-per-view fucking slaps. I fucking love that show.
Yes, dude. The Rumble match was electric.
Dude, and the fucking Cena Umaga match is awesome. I fucking love that match.
That match is sick.
Dude, I love that show. Yeah, I 2007 Rumble is one of the best Rumbles of all time. I will stand by that. But,
no, I agree. Dude, if I'm being honest though, I think one of my favorite memories of like my first like ordered pay-per-view.
Yes.
My first ordered pay-per-view was pretty damn good. It was SummerSlam also, but 2011.
Oh,
so you had an 8-year SummerSlam advantage on me.
Oh, fuck, dude. SummerSlam 2011 is a great show, though.
It's such a good show, dude. I love almost all the matches on that.
That's a great first pay-per-view. But yeah, so you just bought that with your allowance? That was the key to victory there?
I think it's because I was doing good. Like, I did good at the end of the school year.
You did well.
Fuck you.
Yeah. So it proves that maybe it was a mercy buy. Who knows? Anyway, yeah, I'm trying to remember. I was but by like 2011, 2012, I was getting some pay-per-views like relatively like on a somewhat frequent basis, and then the network came in and just was a godsend.
What was your first wrestling game?
Good one. Okay, yeah, no, I got you on this. Very passionate about wrestling games, especially the SVR series, but I did not start with the SVR series. The first game I had was Raw 2 for the original Xbox. And, dude, here's the thing. Like, the brand split's like a joke.
Now, yeah.
But back then, the brand split was so legit that SmackDown games were released on PS2 and Raw games were released on Xbox. Like, they took sides in the console wars. That's how fucking legit...
That's craziness.
That's how fucking legit the brand split used to be.
Dude, WWE used to be hard, I'm telling you.
But I played Raw 2 for hours. I remember my parents got me an original Xbox for Christmas one year, and Raw 2 is one of the games I got with it. And I mean, I in the grand scheme of things, I don't know if this is really heralded as one of like the if it's really held as one of the best wrestling games of all time. And like, I got all the SVR games, and like 2007 was like legendary. It was a legendary game. Dude, with Raw 2, what was crazy about it is like there's like a not like an adventure mode, but kind of like a like season mode. And
yeah,
like it got so crazy. Like Stacy Keibler was my world champion at one point. Like it was just fucking wild, dude. I fucking love Raw 2. I have not played it since I was about 8 years old. So I really need to go back and like I really need to like hey, I probably just have to emulate the game at this point. But fuck, yeah, dude, Raw 2. Yeah, classic times. All right, so you first wrestling game?
My first wrestling game was SmackDown vs. Raw 2011 with John Cena on for the Nintendo DS.
Oh, you got the DS version?
Fuck yeah, I did, bro.
Dude, I've never heard someone have the DS version.
Oh yeah.
Well, how was it? Because 2011 is that's one of the better SVRs.
Yeah, but it was kind of ass.
I mean, I imagine the DS port probably wasn't the strongest.
Season mode. Dude, the way the game starts with your create a wrestler, it starts with Triple H beating the Big Show at WrestleMania 24. and just going through. You start in ECW, and then you go to Raw, and then you go to SmackDown naturally. And then at WrestleMania 25, you face Triple H for the WWE Championship. So not very far off what actually happened.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, you win the Rumble, obviously.
SVR 2011 also had, that was pretty much my favorite thing, was doing all the creator wrestler shit. Like, that's pretty much all the hours I've sunk into, any WWE or any wrestling game, period. I should put a little asterisk on my first wrestling game, because the first one I owned for myself, and the one I really dove into, was Raw 2. But I would be remiss if I didn't mention WCW Mayhem for the Nintendo 64.
64?
Yes, my older brothers obviously had wrestling games, and WCW Mayhem is trash. Like, it's definitely not good, but when my brother was here, when he was visiting a couple months ago, before COVID kind of struck, we did bust out the N64, and we did bust out the WCW Mayhem, and I will say, I, as Sting, defeated him as Goldberg. If only I captured that moment. But yes, I'll put a slight asterisk next to WCW Mayhem, as well as WCW Backstage Assault for the original PlayStation. That game sucks dick, but it was awesome.
How much dick does it suck?
Dude, like gargantuan, like Big Show sized wiener.
Golly.
Yeah, man. All right, I'm trying to think. Oh wait, hold on. I have a good one. Ready?
All right, I go.
First wrestling shirt.
I don't know if I want. Oh no, I do want to say this one. My first wrestling shirt was the CM Punk, not the white one. I wish I got the white one, but the gray one that was right after it.
Oh, okay, solid. Oh, like the gray one with like the circular logo, or like the gray one. Okay,
the gray one with the circular logo with the star in the middle.
I think
I always describe that to my friends as my Rolex shirt.
Shit. Alright, so here's the thing. I always wanted a wrestling shirt, but like my dad, and like I'll make fun of my dad to his face about this, but like for like a really long time my dad was like really weary about like buying shit online. Just like really like really against it. So like I'll make fun of, because now he like does everything online, so like I'll make fun of him to this day about it. But so like I would always want shit from WWEshop.com, but like I knew there was no chance in hell I was ever gonna get it. And like I did go to a lot of events, but I never really bought any wrestling shirts when I was there, probably just because the lines were so long. You know those like, and you being from Ocean City, Maryland, you would understand. You know those like really shitty off-brand WWE shirts that are sold at like Sensations and all those other crappy T-shirt stores?
I've never seen one at Sensations. I no, that's not true. I've seen a Bullet Club one at Sensations. I bought a Bullet Club one at Sensations.
But like a shitty, like it's definitely not a like super official Bullet Club shirt. It's like it says like Club Bullet, and like
it had everything except the logo on the sleeves and on the tag.
But like, again, like it's a little off-brand. You know what I mean? I watched them. There was a DX shirt. It's like one of the ugliest shirts I've ever seen, because it's like Shawn Michaels and Triple H, and it's like the 2006 DX. Yeah, I had never owned a wrestling shirt, so I was like, oh, I gotta get this. And like, we were on vacation. My mom was like, yeah, whatever, I don't give a fuck. But I also we went to Niagara Falls one year, and there's that WWE store. I don't think it's still open. We went there, and like I like, of course, that's where like all the official merch is. So I could have gotten anything, but I got this generic ass, like it was like a Raw versus SmackDown shirt, and it had like the Raw guys on one side, the SmackDown guys on the other. Like, it's a shirt you could have bought at like fucking Walmart or something. And like I was like, oh, this is the one I want. Like you fucking idiot. Like, you could have had anything there. But lo and behold, I got like a crappy like generic T-shirt. The first one I think I officially got, if I had to think, it might have been, you know that like Jericho Hall T-shirt where it's like supposed to be like a liquor bottle?
Yeah.
I had horrible taste in wrestling shirts when I was fucking younger. Holy shit. I mean, not to say...
Dude, hey, don't you have that one Dolph Ziggler shirt?
Yes. Dude, stealing the show and your girlfriend.
Do you still have it?
Dude, I will fucking bust it. I will get it right now.
Dude, get it right now. Send me a fucking Snapchat.
Dude, hold up. I gotta pause the recording. Hold on. All right, guys. So apparently there were some technical difficulties when I unpaused the recording. Edgehead's audio just kind of went kablooey. But really, all that's left and what you missed was basically just him roasting me for owning that stupid Dolph Ziggler shirt when I bought it when I was like 15, so like, fuck off. But anyway, that's pretty much it, because there really wasn't anything else to talk about. So, my name is Jerichoholic8704, and I will sign off for EdgeHead3131 as well, but he sucks, so who cares? And I'll see you guys next time.